the second activity, which is on page 6, and this is going to be individual. So I would just like for you to take a few minutes to define what you think your expectations are for your supervisor, your expectations. What are your expectations from your manager? And what do they expect of you? What do you expect of them? What do your teammates expect of you? And what does your manager, or what does your organization expect of you? Just take a few minutes and jot those down. We're not going to go over them. Just something for you to think about and be mindful of. Okay, everybody jot something down? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, if you turn to page 7, the next page over. Now this is where I would like for you to think about, and you can, think about one example. One will be enough for class purposes. You can always go back if you'd like to explore this further. I'd like for you all to think about one challenge that you have as a supervisor and list that, and then once we're done, I'd like for us to share to see maybe if we can learn, is it a challenge for someone else? Are there similar challenges? Is it something that we need to hone in on that we're not aware of? So if you take a few minutes and list your biggest challenge as a supervisor. thinking. It's going tick tock, tick tock. No. Okay, so does everybody have something? Almost. Okay. Few more minutes. Okay, are we ready? Okay. So let's list what our challenges are. Who would like to go first? Ruth?
Okay, I put down the various shipping of products. And the reason I put that is because on different nights, certain nights of the week, we have to ship hobby. We have to ship CTVI. We have to ship, various types of shipments going out at one time. And we have to make sure that we're shipping it to the correct address. We have to make sure we ship, everything is going to the correct area, and that is a lot of validation being done. And then when you're dealing with hobby, you have to have that already processed, and in order to get it completed that night, you have to have it in before 9 p.m. So it's a lot when you're dealing with all these different vendors and everything, and trying to make sure that you're shipping out the product, because you want to get credit for everything.
Okay. Okay, thank you for sharing. I can see that being an issue. So, is there anything that anyone in the building can help you with? Is there anything that your team can help you with, that you could get advice or information from to help with the process? Like, is there anybody else that you could pull in?
Well, my PCs, they take care of it. Both of them, what we've done is like divided.
Okay.
And this one may take care of that, this one take care of that, and they become like experts in those fields now. So,
okay.
It was a challenge, but it's something that we had to kind of feel comfortable about and break it down to, okay, this is how we're gonna do it, and it's a success.
Okay, so you kind of worked as a team to figure that out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Steve?
I guess one would be balancing time to let the folks that work for me develop further, whether it be classes or seminars externally or through the training group. Company's pretty good at financially supporting things like that. And then also ones that are company sponsored, but when is a good time to let folks go and do it? Like, for example, the leadership, essentials of leadership that Tim Bass does. The latest session was last week when we were doing inventory.
You're right.
And then session 2 was this week, but if you don't go to one, you can't go to two. So, and as people generally, what's your slow time? And generally it's your Sunday.
Right. Right.
So.
Yeah, that, I think that we'll find that is one of the most challenging things in the workplace, though, is how do you get time to develop yourself, or to let your peers develop each other, or some things. I think that's a challenge. Not quite sure how we fix it besides just either planning ahead and just saying, hey, this is what we're gonna do. That's not always feasible, though. So I think if somebody could figure that out, maybe be one of us in this room, and we write a book, I think we'd be millionaires. Don't you? I do. I think we would. We'd change the industry. All right. Simon?
I have same thing. I had challenges managing time with work with teammate issues.
Okay, so working in the environment that we work in, what are some of the teammate issues that you have? Are they related to communication? Are they just not people not following the processes? Is it because what type of things? Any?
It's all together, you know. Especially the struggle at the beginning of the shift, you know. It's mostly the struggle, you know. We have teammates, and you know, like we see somebody said, you know, like when we come start the shift, and people started, need gloves, need box cutter, need box, you know. So trying to be managed, you know.
Okay. Have you thought about, my word again, inclusive, including, excuse me, different individuals that are in your department to help with that at the beginning of the shift, maybe, to make it run a little bit smoother?
Yeah, but sometimes it's you know what is it? The supplies is maybe not available in our department, so we gotta go find it. And another one we like pretty much is a challenges we facing us. Feel like no rest. Come to work, go home and sleep. Get up, come to work.
Right.
It's pretty much, you know, like.
Yeah, that is a challenge.
Yeah, that's a challenge, you know, like leave like at 1:30 and 2 o'clock, get home around 3:30, go to bed around, wake up 1 o'clock, 1:30 and back to work.
Yeah, that's a
So
challenge.
that's I mean, you pretty much see the work all the time, so it's like a challenge, you know. We having, just last week we said we worked 10 hours, almost close to a year,
Wow.
and including Saturdays.
Yeah. Yeah, and those are things that we probably should look at too, if there's any resolve for them, if there is, you know, I'm not really sure. But,
I feel that challenges for the teammate too. We got some of the quality issues.
Quality issues.
That probably is part of might be possible driven that, you know.
Yeah, okay. Those are good, thank you for sharing. Keith?
Mine's kind of a similar thing, but mine has more with the diversity that we have in the group. And then communicating that everybody understands the same message you said.
Right.
Because everybody interprets something different.
Right.
So under the time constraints you have, getting your common message out that everybody understands and everybody's on the same page.
We're gonna talk about that a little bit later too. That's good, thank you.
Because one group is like, okay, they understand it this way, the other group understands it a
that
different
way.
way. And then pretty soon like, well, that's what, wait a minute, time out.
Yeah.
We're both wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
I hear you. We'll have some tools hopefully that will help with that in a little bit. Carla?
Yes, one of my challenges would be trying to manage multiple projects at one time while still managing to, you know, production, meet SLAs, and sometimes I don't have, you know, enough teammates to do everything. So it's kinda, you know, a struggle trying to juggle everything at one time. And by the time we're done with one project, you know, here comes AT&T and throws a different at us.
Right.
And the majority of the time goes to my area, exceptions being the fact that the teammates are higher wage grades and more knowledgeable. And I mean, they know what they're doing, they get the processes pretty fast. And I believe that's the reason why, you know, why they do that. But sometimes it is a challenge trying to, you know, keep up everything, yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. It looks like out of all these challenges that we listed, time seems to be the biggest one. Whether it's balancing it, whether it's getting enough of it off, whether it's having enough to get things done and not wasting time at the beginning of our shifts and throughout the day. So I'll put that over here. I'll keep this in the little parking lot area. And perhaps there's something that we could do to either offer things that we work on our time management or things like that, okay? All right, so we're gonna move on and we're going to talk about